So, if you don't know me, I'm Winslow. Yeah, I like to talk. Share some ideas. So what's this video gonna be about? So I think eventually tutorials are just production, how to make this sound. They only go so far. And I think people really get hung up on that. I don't see anything wrong with them. When you're learning in the beginning, it makes sense. In the beginning, you don't really know technical stuff like how to synthesize a sound, how to make a kick, or how do you make a reese, stuff like that. So it serves a purpose, but at some point you phase out of needing that unless something completely wildly new comes along, which doesn't really happen often because everything's been done, just about. And we're really just finding new ways to do things at this point. You have that beginning period, right? Where you're learning stuff, it's all new, it's fresh. You're how do I make this sound? Yeah, I made the sound exactly like this tune, or whatever. Think about how many foghorn, distorted bass, whatever tutorials there are right now, and how many just terrible, derivative, lackluster, boring, I could keep going, but uninspiring, commonplace, corny, everyday, humdrum, indifferent. And it's cool, when it's useful, it's useful. But at some point you make that transition to, okay, I know how to do these things. Now how can I use these, these sounds, these techniques, these whatever, effectively? And that kind of wraps around to the idea I'm always talking about, which is the process.
All that truly matters is the process.
In figuring out, yourself, how you want to do things, how you want to write music, whatever it is. Okay, so it's not something you can concretely say, okay, I'm going from watching tutorials to figuring myself out or anything like that. It's always it's a here and there kind of thing. Every now and then I'll watch how to make a certain sound, or if I get a new synth, I'll watch how many videos are that explain that synth. Massive works similar to CM, right? Both synths make a sound, effects, routing, whatever, but each thing is kind of nuanced in a way that is specific to itself. So, you look up things about that. Fine, no problem. So, as usual, me going around in circles, it's an idea to think about, where are you in your production journey, let's call it that, your musical creative career, that kind of thing. How are you taking what you've learned, the technical bits, and synthesizing that information into what you do, your process. For example, you can give 10 people the same sample, right? You'll probably get it flipped 10 different ways. You can tell someone, hey, EQ this sound to sound good. They're going to EQ it 10 different ways because, their taste, their preferences for sound. The process, you figure out your tendencies, I have a tendency to kill sounds and high pass them too much. And then when it's time to actually mix down a tune, I bring them all back, give them their life back, that kind of thing. And just knowing that I can, counteract these things. I don't know. It's an idea. So again, I don't know, reiterate. At some point you gotta figure out what works for you. I say that all the time, so it's nothing new. If you're new here, get used to it. Yeah, you just gotta figure out what works for you, and you really gotta take the time. I'm not saying just sit there and be all right, who am I? Where am I? Why am I doing this? What is life? I'm not saying that. I'm just think about it. Keep it in the back of your mind while you're writing, while you're coming up with ideas. I guess that's all I really want to talk about. Something short, something sweet, something to get you thinking, or something to grab some dislikes, because who am I to make you think? Anyway, as usual, comments, questions, concerns, complaints, all down there. Yeah, that's all I got to talk about. More coffee.